so hard for all of us to shift out of these shoulds and expectations and the school brain that kind of fucked a lot of us up and our parents and all that stuff. It's going to take your timing to fully arrive here. And really hear what I just said. You get to feel into your timing to fully arrive here. And there will be parts of you that don't want to fully arrive. There might be. There might be parts of you that feel distracted or pulled in a different direction. That's okay. That's okay. All of us come into a call like this with some sense of intention, most of the time for some sense of community, for some sense of connection. Maybe it goes beyond that. So know that you hold your own personal intention to arrive in this space, and you get to arrive in alignment with that intention in your timing. So now that I've made that little announcement, hi, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Welcome to August's Infinity Container. There's so much that came up as I was preparing for this call, so much that came up as I was preparing for this call. And I always like to tune into what my experiences have been like in the past week with most of my clients, with myself, with the people in my life. And then it gets a little augmented as we tune into each other in this space today. And I wanted to start with a sense of this question that I'm going to let linger in the background. What does it mean to you to connect with nature? That can draw our minds to very simple things like, oh, I like hiking. I'm good in the garden. And it can also go much deeper than that. So I really want you to start thinking, what does it mean to you to be connected to nature? And as always, in this call, we're going to do a little bit of a go around. Everyone has opportunity to speak their name. It's important for us to hear our voices. Say where in this world you are currently located. And I give a little bit of a prompt that I ask, I invite you to play with, which I'll do in a moment. And I also wanted to give a heads up that the call is typically about 75 to 90 minutes. So know that. And if you have to pop off, you have to pop off. And hopefully I'll notice if you want to pop back on and let you back in. But I can't guarantee if I'm in the middle of something, right? So the prompt today, I really wanted you to tune into how you're feeling in this very moment. So take a moment to really maybe even close your eyes for a second while I'm asking this question. And on a scale of red to blue, red, orange, yellow, green to blue, how connected are you feeling in this very moment? And that might be to yourself, that might be to nature, that might be to other people around you and your life, but really you get to feel into what that question means to you in this moment. How connected do I feel? Red being completely disconnected, completely disconnected. Blue feeling, I feel one with the universe. So on a scale of red, disconnected, to blue, total connection, feel into what color you are today. How connected do I feel? So this question came up regarding what does it mean to be connected with nature? Because I was having a conversation yesterday and something came up where I was asked that question. And I had to really think about it for a moment. What does it mean to me to be connected? You know, we are nature, right? Connecting to nature isn't just connecting to the trees, right? So there's a human there, sometimes many, sometimes you're the only one. And she said, yeah, but like when you're in nature without the people, what does it feel like to you? And I said, well, in a general sense, I can get to a place where I feel more supported when some of the psychology that I'm working with that probably drove me into nature in the first place. And Nikolai, completely relate when I've had those moments of, well, this is where I'm connecting. It's with the fucking trees. This is what I've got. And the trees go, oh, oh. And I dive in. And I said, it's those times where I can drop into the total support that Earth can provide. But it's without the psychological mishigas of our humanness. And something that's been coming up this week in terms of the neural networks we're all connected with, the people, right? I got a lot of talk this week about the office vibes and what's going on, having to immerse in an office where this one's got this going on and this one's got this one going on. And I have to just put my headphones on and I can't, and my boss, and right, and that neural network, ooh, that could be hard to tune into, right? Or the family dynamics, or the loneliness. And that anytime we really tune into this neural network that we are all a part of, there's compromise, right? We have to kind of navigate through. What are we giving? What are we receiving? Who's able to give? Who's able to receive? Who's aware? Who's awake? And it led me into this conversation. And Nancy, we've started this conversation. This important stage of development, our embryological stage of development. A piece I tend to focus on with people is this very early stage where egg and sperm just come together. And we don't quite need mom and dad yet beyond the egg and the sperm that they've donated to our beingness. Because as the egg and sperm come together and this magic starts happening, and we start forming that yolk sac that feeds us and that amniotic sac that protects us, and we're floating around in the womb before we implant in the uterine wall, before we need mom to feed us and grow a placenta, we are feeding ourselves and we are protecting ourselves. And when in that really early first trimester stage of development, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. There's no shoulds other than allowing the cells to start to play together and rub up against each other and do this dance where all of a sudden there's multiplying and there's differentiation. And then we reach second trimester. If we could all stay in second trimester, where we have organs, we have a body, we have limbs, and we're starting to swim around in the amniotic fluid. And we know, oh my God, I have a hand. But our brain's not fully formed where we're going, but what's out there and what can I do with my hands and how do I, it's just going. Wades through. We start to move. We've all been there. All of us know this place, second trimester. Then third trimester comes in and we could start to hear. And the outside environment starts creeping in. But it's like whale sounds because it's through the water. So it's a little, yeah, you're not necessarily hearing mom's voice, but you're starting to take in vibrations of the outside world much more clearly. And as I really thought about the question, what does it mean to connect with nature? I can go back to second trimester, where I have limbs. I'm contending with gravity now. I have to carry a water bottle. I need to drink and take care of this body that I have. But I could also tune into a sense of connection, where I'm using my limbs to move through the environment. It opens us up to that quantum place where we all are in development. It takes us back to that place. It can.